just wanted to talk a little bit about the history of the building. I'm probably one of few on the council that I was here when this building was new and in its heyday. Mr. Massingale was also here, but he was a lot younger. When I moved to Lubbock in 1962, this building was new. And my husband was a banker, and there was a very tight-knit group of bankers. That was before there was branch banking and all of those kinds of things. Charlie Joplin was an officer at this bank. And as many of you may have read the book about Homer Maxey, a lot of that history, when you read that book, took place in this building. So I think we need to remember that at one time this was a thriving financial institution, and there was a lot going on in terms of the South Plains. Cotton was king here then, but it was even more king. And so this was kind of a real financial center. Not only did we have Texas Commerce in this building, but we also had the other banks, that being the Lubbock National Bank. This was Citizens National Bank at one point. So there's just a lot of history, and we're going to try to find as much of that history as we can to preserve its history as we move it forward. Steve, you want to talk about your experience?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to note, I've shared the stories of this building with my dad, who has done business, was in city government for many years, but this used to be this building used to house Senator Monfort. His law firm was here, so there is quite a bit of history here. Let me make some comments overall about the project. First of all, I just want to welcome you and the public to the Citizens Building in Lubbock, Texas. This is going to be their building when it's all said and done, and we're going to do the absolute best job we can to make it customer friendly for them. Before I start, I want to introduce a couple of key folks, and some of you will have noticed that a couple of weeks ago the mayor formed a facilities committee on the council, and that is made up of Councilwoman Joy and Councilman Jeff Griffith, who is not with us this morning, but Councilman Chattis, who this building lies in his district, is here in his stead. And the mayor's asked me to chair that committee. That committee will oversee this project as well as some others as time goes on. The intent of that committee is to make sure this project comes in under budget, on time, and that committee will support the staff as they are the ones working on this almost 24/7. Let me introduce some key staff, and I apologize if I miss somebody. Our city manager, James Loomis, is over here. Assistant City Manager Mark Yearwood. We've got our City Secretary, Becky Garza, and our City Attorney, Chad Weaver. And most integral to this project is Wes Everett and his staff with George right here. They're key, and they're over here toiling on this every day. We are making every effort to ensure that this is going to be a customer-friendly facility, from parking all the way to the interaction with city departments. This is a facility that has to serve our citizens for at least 50 years. So not only are we cognizant of how people want to interact with city government today, but we're going to pay attention to how people will interact with city government in 50 years. When this building comes live in late 2018, one thing we will do is we will bring as many departments into this building as possible, which will allow us to release some other facilities back onto the tax roll or relieve the city of some leases. One building that would be an example of that is, if you'll look over here to my right, you'll see the building that houses Lubbock Power and Light. So that building will go back on the tax roll. And I think that's important because not only does this building contribute to the redevelopment of downtown Lubbock, but we'll also regain and recapture some property on the tax roll for private investment, which I think that's something the entire council is supportive of. With that, Councilman Chattis, do you want to make any comments?
No, we're good.
With that, I will open up to any questions for myself, either one of the council people or any of the staff.
You're looking at a timeline of what for this building to go live?
We're hoping this building will go live late 2018 or early 2019.
So what do you think is most important for you to tell citizens kind of as they're going to get to see this? From the outside, it doesn't look like there's a lot of progress, but obviously inside is where a lot of that work is being done right now.
Well, I think that's a great point. One thing that the staff has worked on really for about the last 18 months is demolition and abatement. This building had some asbestos in it, and so it's really important that we bring you on at this point in time so you can see this, because we're kind of right at that point, that period where you're going to start seeing construction occur. And do we have some renderings hanging out? Or besides the floor plans?
No, just those.
Okay. Well, you probably have some renderings in your press packet, and I think there's a DVD in there with some images. One thing we're committed to, and this is the beginning of that, is being transparent about this project. So that's why we bring you in today, to allow the citizens to take a peek inside. You will see us periodically all along this process as the construction occurs to keep you updated. Try to keep you updated on costs, features, and where we are in the process. So again, this is the citizens' building, and we intend to keep them informed all along the way.
Can we talk a little bit about money and budget and
Sure.
what's been happening so far?
So the entire budget for this project is $60 million. As of right now, it is coming in on budget, and we intend to keep it there.
Steve, prior to the construction beginning and prior to the city owning it, there was a lot of vandalism that occurred, people coming in stealing copper, things of that nature. What measures have been taken to protect this property now?
Well, as you can see, the property is secure. When you approached it today, it's fully fenced. Every opening has been secured by the staff, so we feel confident at this point in time that it is secure, and as the construction process moves forward, we'll continue to keep it secure.
Yeah, we even saw some hanging banners.
Yeah, I think there were some early challenges, but I think they've definitely got those resolved.
When everything's completed of the chambers, would you say they're going to be larger than what y'all have right now?
They're going to be about the same size. You know, we're going to be very conservative in anything that we look at, but we don't see any need to make those larger. Hopefully they'll be a little more customer friendly, might even be a little more media friendly, but we don't anticipate anything grandiose or large in that regard.
Councilman Joy, obviously you were on the council when the city purchased this, and you were not on the council when this became part of the city property. How do you both view this kind of now as you're a few years into this project, especially you being newer to the project as well?
Well, obviously, when we bought the building, there was a lot of criticism about it. But in order to further downtown redevelopment and to remove this eyesore, which is what it has been for a number of years, we felt like that was in the best interest of the entire city, not just downtown, but the entire city. I haven't changed my mind. I think it's going to be a great place for the citizens of Lubbock. And as everyone knows, we have plans for City Hall that we currently occupy. But I did ask Wes, I think there's about 187,000 square feet in this building that's usable. And I think that's very important, as Mr. Massengale indicated, because we're bringing in a lot of departments that have been in rentals outside of City Hall. And hopefully that will also contribute to the economic state of the city. I think it'll be a great project, and I think everybody will be really proud of it when it's completed. I told Robert Taylor a number of years ago when I was on the TIF board, he and I both want to live long enough to see downtown redeveloped, and this will be a giant step in that direction.
Yes, there are different perspectives. I wasn't part of the original process, but coming onto the council in May and the mayor recognizing how important this project is to make sure it's customer friendly, I'm proud to lead the facilities committee to make sure that this project is exactly what the citizens need. And again, I can't re-emphasize enough the desire to come in under budget and on time with this project. One reason we have this facilities committee is because of the mayor and I had this similar experience when we served on the Lubbock Independent School Board of Trustees with a $200 million bond. We had a facilities committee there. And it's just so important to be able to support the staff as they move through this process. Anything else?
You're gonna invite me to the opening?
No.
Would you, can we please let the record show that the council has officially invited City Manager James Loomis to the opening, as he will be retiring sometime next year. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Do y'all have any more questions?
I just thought one thing to point out, and Councilwoman Joy talked about the 187,000 square feet. You're looking at the facility here, the tower. We talked about the annex. Some of that includes, we have a parking garage across the street, and there is a tunnel that runs southeast to this parking lot that is east of the parking garage, and that is a full basement underneath that parking lot. And it, 20,000 square feet. And so part of the plan is LP&L, as we talked about, moves over here. That will be the LP&L facility. LP&L operations will be in that basement. Not in total darkness, there will be some sunlight in their facility.
Yeah, it won't be. It'll be a complete different look for downtown, not just this tower. We always talk about the tower, but in reality, it is the complex. The entire area will be completely refreshed and a new look for downtown.